What's poppin', everyone? Welcome back to another episode of Blake's Take with yours truly, Blake Neiman. And as we have seen this summer, the meaning and implications of an athlete signing a contract is more complex than ever before. In this day and age, world-class athletes are being paid significantly more than ever before, setting the bar for a new economy in the sports world. The bar is only getting raised higher and higher each and every day, which has made locking up star players all the more difficult for front offices. Not only is it difficult for these front offices to get these contracts put together, but even more so when they do get a contract put together, it becomes even more difficult to get a quality return in trading for a player. As we have most recently seen, Kevin Durant, who requested a trade from the Nets back in late June, was unable to have his request fulfilled and ultimately is now back to moving forward with the team. The trade was going to be different initially anyway, just due to the pure value that Durant is, being one of the best players on the planet, and still having some of the prime valuable years left in him at only age 33. However, finding a trade deal became increasingly more difficult after the Minnesota Timberwolves fluctuated the market in their trade for Rudy Gobert, giving up Patrick Beverley, Walker Kessler, Leandro Bolmaro, Jared Vanderbilt, and 4 first-round picks, all for Rudy Gobert. No one was expecting Gobert to be that high of a value. Gobert, while a 3-time Defensive Player of the Year, is somewhat of a liability when it comes to the offensive end of the floor. With the T-Wolves willing to give up that kind of capital for Gobert, the Nets were certainly now going to play hardball and finding a suitable return for KD. Unsurprisingly, no team was able to put a package that would suffice the demand for Durant without completely dismantling their roster out of championship contention. The inability to find a trade finally puts an end to star players controlling their own destiny despite their contraction obligations. We saw 2 massive trades occur this past 2 seasons for Durant's former teammate James Harden, who forced his way out of both Houston and most recently Brooklyn. One of Durant's other teammates, Kyrie Irving, who also has ignored his contractual commitments, taking personal time off and choosing to not get vaccinated, which has altered his, for lack of a better word, experiment in Brooklyn. Now understanding the high value that he is, Durant has a lot to prove this season, as it is championship or bust for the franchise after all the drama it has dealt with through the past few seasons. The construction and difficulty of these deals hasn't just stayed within the confines of the NBA. It has spread to both the NFL and the MLB. This offseason in the National Football League has been an eventful one, especially for young quarterbacks. In particular, Kyler Murray, who got paid with a 5-year extension worth $230.5 million, including $160 million in guarantees. Some other notable deals were Deshaun Watson agreeing to a 5-year, $230 million fully guaranteed deal with the Browns, and then both Matthew Stafford and Aaron Rodgers getting multi-million-dollar deals done each. But arguably the biggest story of this NFL offseason was the deal that didn't get done with former NFL MVP Lamar Jackson. Jackson, who doesn't have an agent, is entering his final year of his rookie deal and is due for a historic new contract. Jackson has accomplished much more in his career than his counterparts in Murray and Deshaun Watson, which is why his new contract has been so difficult to put together, as the deal will likely enter unprecedented territory. With the QB market constantly inflating with each new deal, the Ravens are going to have to put a deal together soon, because as the longer they wait, the steeper the price gets. They have no reason not to pay Jackson with all the promise he has shown thus far. It is now just only a matter of time before the Ravens have to pay up what is rightfully owed to one of the game's best young stars. So that finally takes us to the MLB, where decade-plus long extensions have become the new norm. In July, World Series champion and Home Run Derby champion Juan Soto was offered a 14-year, $475 million contract from the Washington Nationals. However, he turned down that offer and was thus immediately traded to the San Diego Padres, who gave up the bulk of their farm system to acquire Soto. Whether Soto will get a similar extension offer from the Padres has yet to be determined, but in turning down that initial deal from the Nationals, Soto made it clear that he wants to be somewhere in which he can contend for more championships as opposed to just a long contract. On the other hand, Soto's opponent in this year's Home Run Derby final, Julio Rodriguez, made clear he valued the security of a massive extension as opposed to waiting and exploring larger contenders. The All-Star Rookie of the Year candidate has come to an agreement with the Seattle Mariners on one of the largest contracts in Major League Baseball history. The Mariners and Rodriguez came to an agreement on a 12-year, $210 million guaranteed contract, which is the largest extension of any player who has been playing in the majors for less than 2 years. But it doesn't end there, as once the 12 years pass, Rodriguez can choose to opt in to a 5-year, $90 million player option. This would make the deal total out to a 17-year, $300 million deal. Did I already mention he hasn't even finished his rookie season yet? These recent contracts across all professional sports leagues are reshaping the landscape of sports and their value. Athletes these days are being paid unfathomable amounts of money, and it is only continuing to grow. At what point will be there an economic limit to what these athletes can make? That question will still continue to be a topic of discussion as we watch these jaw-dropping deals unfold. It will sure be interesting to see how these contracts continue to unfold across all the sports spectrums as it just continues to rise along with inflation, as all of us other people know. But these players are making so much money, it's like ridiculous. I mean, just compared to other people, they're some of the richest people in the world, and like the number lines that we see of their paychecks is like something we can't even fathom, and it's going to be even more unfathomable as time goes on and they just continue to make money. It's only a matter of time before we start seeing like billion-dollar contracts, maybe 10, 20 years. We'll see how the economy continues to translate, but the world of sports is a game of money, and front offices sure know that, and the owners sure know that. So we'll see how things continue to unfold in the sports world as far as contracts go, and whether or not players live up to that expectation. So you can keep up on all that's going on around the sports world locally and nationally here on Blake's Take on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and or YouTube. I hope you all enjoyed. Subscribe and like to stay up to date, and I will catch you all in the next one. Have a wonderful day.